welcome back to our channel. If this is the first time you guys are seeing us, my name's Amanda.
I'm Mackenzie.
And today we are going to do the behind the scenes tour, which I am so excited for.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this since I surprised her with her birthday with tickets for this, and I'm so excited.
Yep. So we're going to take you guys along and you will get to experience the behind the scenes tour with us.
Of one of the best rides ever.
I know, we're so excited, and it's decorated for Christmas, so let's go.
With this area, it is very important because even though we are in closed greenhouses, even though we're in our Disney bubble, we are still in Florida. And when you're in Florida, you're surrounded by all sorts of critters and creatures and things that might be after our plants for any number of reasons. In fact, a very popular one that we get around here is something called a leaf miner fly. They're really teeny tiny, but they're hanging out in this top row of boxes, and they can cause a lot of damage to our plants, which for one thing doesn't look good. But for another, it can really harm the health of our full greenhouse. So we don't like to see these pests, and we want to make sure we can get rid of them. But to do that might require quite a few different options or a few different methods. That's really the whole idea behind integrated pest management after all. Now thankfully, when it comes to these leaf miners, they do have a natural enemy, something called parasitoid blotts, which are hanging out in this bottom row of boxes. And we like to use those natural methods when we can because those are easier for us. We try to unify or simplify our growing methods as much as we can. And the biggest growing technique that we use here is hydroponics. It is something that would be in soil that we can't really get in our house. Right? Nutrients. Welcome to come up here and give Stanley a pet. He's a weed, so we are not going to be eating him in the future. And you'll notice that he actually reacts to your touch. So go ahead, give it a try. Oh, it's so sweet. And then those roots are just sitting in that nutrient solution, so let's just pick up whatever they need. The only extra thing we've added is a little air stone that just helps to keep those roots aerated so they don't suffocate in that water. And if you do want to know more of the details behind how this works or some other specifics that you can do with your plants, there is this QR code right here. You're more than welcome to scan. kids who like to do any cooking, any baking? Okay, very nice. Anybody like the eating part of that equation? I like that too. I kind of like all three actually. What I picked up here are two of the most expensive spices in the world, because a lot of these ingredients that we were passing by, they are quite popular. And with popularity comes cost. So I am going to let you kind of take the lid off and go around and sniff those. See what you like, see what you don't like. A more kind of potent sort of flavor.
It is.
A little more on the savory side over there. Whereas this one over here is a little bit more on the sweeter side. And then once those come around, we'll just have you place it back. You have to do it by hand. And that usually requires our plant scientists to go in with a little tiny toothpick to open up the trapdoor in the flower and actually move that pollen around. Kind of crazy, honestly. But the saffron is on a whole nother level. You might have noticed there's not really a whole lot of saffron in here, and that's because the saffron itself is very tiny, it's very delicate. It's these little red strings that are hanging out of the flowers. Those are the stigmas, which are the pollen producing part of the plant. And if we want to collect our saffron, we have to do so by hand. Any other method is going to destroy it. So what that means is that we are usually harvesting about 80,000 flowers for every 1 pound of saffron that we want.
So we just got done with the behind the scenes tour. What did you think?
I didn't know what to
Monorail.
I didn't know what to expect. Hold on, wait a minute.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect going into it, because while I love living with the land, I was like, okay, like you see so much of the ride already, like
Yeah.
what are you gonna see? You see so much
Yeah.
that you wouldn't even think of.
It's absolutely incredible. I used to work at a landscape and garden center, so I knew a lot of the different terminology, and I absolutely loved that job. So that was really fun for me. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was incredible.
And our tour guide Dana was wonderful.
She was fantastic.
Was fantastic. I've done like the behind the scenes tours at our zoo at home with my family, and those, it just takes something that you already love and makes it 10 times better. Like I can't wait to do the Living with Land
At night tonight for
greenhouse.
glimmering greenhouses.
Yeah. I can't wait to do that tonight.
Yeah.
And you got to try some of the cucumbers that they make, which
Yeah.
if you know me, you know how much I love cucumbers. And
It was very cool.
it was so cool, and like the photo opportunities that we got to take, like we'll
Yeah.
insert one of the pictures from like the final part of the tour, and it was just so unbelievable. Like if you like living with land at all,
It's worth it.
Book
It's
it.
1000% worth the money. Yes, it's an hour out of your park day, but if you like that ride, it is 100% worth it. And even during the day, the Christmas lights are still on, and it is decorated really nicely. I think it would also be cool to do this during
garden.
Flower and Garden. I think it would
Yeah.
be really cool to do because
Yeah.
you know that's just going to be decked out and really pretty. So I'd say either one of those two festivals, if you can book this tour during that time frame, it's just
And
10
for a
times
lot-
better.
For like you're already, it was $49 a person.
Yeah.
For in the grand scheme of Disney,
It's really not that expensive. Granted, if you have bigger parties, it can get expensive. But it's definitely smaller groups. It's groups of 10, so you're not with like a giant group of people. It's very like small and intimate, and it's really fun. I really enjoyed it.
We had a really good group too. Like
We did,
everyone
yeah.
was just like, laughing with her.
Yeah.
I loved our little group that we had.
And everybody's there for the same thing, so it's not
Yeah.
like you're gonna get somebody if you do a tour and it's not like a paid experience where they're like grouchy and they don't really want to be there. Like everybody's excited about it.
Yeah, there were 2 little kids with their parents, and even those kids were excited.
Yeah.
And like you could tell at first they were like, okay, like this is just something that you can know. Mom wanted to do it because she had Living with the Land ears on.
Yeah.
But like they were, looking at things. They were looking at the plants. Like they were taking pictures.
Yeah,
So it was really cool.
It was very cool. 100% worth the experience of
Yeah.
the thing for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think that might be something that we do a couple years from now.
Yeah.
Just as like during Flower Fest.
Yeah, different times of the
Definitely.
year.
But now I think it's time. We got a few minutes until our lightning lane for Soarin'.
Yay!
And then I'm gonna try to get us a lightning lane for Nemo, because it's busy at Epcot when the wait for Nemo is 25 minutes.
And usually I'd say I could skip that ride, but it's my favorite ride,
Yeah,
and
we're
I'd
not
be a little
skipping
sad.
it. We're not skipping it.
But
So
it is fest for the holidays. We'll do the cookie stroll, we'll try some food and some treats.
Yep.
See all of the fun holiday things that they have here at EPCOT. And
Let's go ride Soarin'.
yay!